Hello students, welcome to All Force e-learning channel. This is K. Nageshwar Rao, your physics faculty. Today we are about to deal with session number 44, first year NEET. And the topic of this session is relative motion. We are going to deal with relative motion both in 1D as well as 2D. Both these two things we'll discuss. What is relative motion? Before getting into the details, let us try to have a brief discussion about our practical experiences. For example, if a bus is moving and if you are sitting inside the bus as a passenger and if you are observing the driver, what do you see? You see that driver is at rest position. Always with respect to you, he will be in his seat only, he will not be moving from there. But if somebody is observing the same driver from outside the bus, somebody is standing on the road, just beside the road, and if he is observing the driver, to him, how does he appear like? He appears as if the driver is moving with the velocity of bus. If bus is moving with the velocity of some 50 km per hour, even the person who is standing just beside the road, he too will see the driver moving with the same speed. But if a passenger is sitting inside the bus and if he is observing the driver is at rest position. So it's all, the reference from where you are observing the scene of action is going to change our entire perception. Okay, so here both the state of rest and motion, these things are relative terms. They are relative terms. Okay, for example, two cars are moving just beside each other with the same velocity. If driver of one car is observing the driver of the other car, what he sees as if the driver of the other car is at rest position, because both are moving just side by side with the same speed. Let us say one car is moving ahead with a speed of 40 km per hour. Another car is following that car with a speed of 40 km per hour. Same, both are maintaining the same speed. Let us say one car is here, somewhere here. Another car is here. Both are moving with the same speed. Let us say it is moving with a speed of 40 kmph and it is also moving with a speed of 40 kmph. When the driver of this car observes this car, how does it appear? It appears as if that car is at rest position. Because when this driver is observing this car, whatever distance of separation is there between these two cars, it is not going to change with the time. He sees always somewhere there itself. Isn't it? If at all, if this car's velocity is more than the velocity of this car, then driver of this car will observe this car moving ahead with some speed. If at all, if both are having same speed, the distance at which the second car is located from the first car, it will be constant, and driver of the first car sees, he observes as if the this car is at rest position always. When driver of this car is observing this car is found to be at rest position always, because both are maintaining the same velocity, same speed, isn't it? If at all, if this car is moving ahead with a speed of some 60 km per hour, now when driver of this car observes this car, he sees as if this car is moving ahead with some speed, but not with 60 kmph. He sees this car as if it is moving ahead slowly. Approximately, how much that speed could be, eventually we will come to know when we deal with the theoretical part. What is the difference between these two velocities? 20 km per hour. So when driver of this car observes this car, he finds that this car is moving ahead with a speed of 20 km per hour, but not 60 km per hour. If somebody is observing, standing just beside the road, this car appears to him moving with a speed of 60 kmph. These are practical experiences. Now the question is how does the scene look like if driver of this car observes this car? If at all, if he turns back and if he observes this car, in this situation, this car is moving ahead with 40 km per hour and this car is going ahead with a speed of 60 km per hour. And now driver of this car is observing this car. What he finds? He finds that this car is going in the backward direction. In fact, this car is not going in the backward direction, he is going in the forward direction with respect to this car. Isn't it? If, for example, if we are driving a car and somebody is there just behind us who is riding a bicycle. When you look at that person, do you see that person who is riding the bicycle approaching your car or going away from your car? We see as if that person is going away from our car, isn't it? So here, when driver of this car observes this car appears to be moving in the backward direction with a speed equal to how much? Again, difference between these two velocities, 20 km per hour. But in fact, this car and this car both are moving along the same direction. So, when we observe things, from different points of references, the situations are different, isn't it? The observed facts are different, which are, different when compared to observations made from different references. If a person is observing on the road, from the road, standing just beside the road, if he is looking at the scene, to him it appears differently. If a driver of this car is observing this car, to him it appears differently. And driver of this car, if he is observing this car, it appears differently. Even when you are, for example, if you are traveling in a train or bus, if you are traveling in a bus, whatever trees, buildings you see just beside the road, all those things appears to be moving in the backward direction. But do you think practically they do they move? They don't move. They don't move. They are fixed. In fact, they are not moving. You are moving away from them, isn't it? So when you observe things, from different points of references, then you see things differently. So let us try to understand this one under the heading of relative motion. Whatever examples I have quoted so far, all these examples falls under the category of relative motion. Okay. So first let me define what relative motion is. See, relative motion. Here we study motion of one body with respect to another body. Motion of one body with respect to another body. So for whatever examples I have quoted, in all those examples, when we compare with something, when compared to passenger, driver is at rest position. But when compared to a person who is standing on the road, just beside the road, the driver is in motion, isn't it? So relative motion, in the sense, you are going to study motion of objects relative to some other object. Motion of one object relative to another object. Such a kind of details we'll be dealing with. Okay. And here, the very important physical quantity that we will be dealing with is relative velocity. Relative velocity. If I ask you to define what velocity is, how do you define? You define velocity as a rate of change of displacement. And what about relative velocity? If I ask you to define what is relative velocity? Similarly, you can define rate of change of relative displacement is nothing but relative velocity. I'll tell you how come this relative displacement changes with the time, and I'll tell you. So what is relative velocity? Rate of change of relative position of one body with respect to another body. With respect to another body. Rate of change of relative position of one body with respect to another body. I will consider one example. Let us say there is a straight path. This is the origin O. Two cars are moving. One car is moving ahead. The other car is somewhere here. Let us say this is car A and this is car B. Okay. Initially, when time t is equal to 0, at time t is equal to 0, let its position is x01 with respect to origin. Let position of this one is x02. Let us assume like that. Let us say this one is moving with a velocity equal to v1. This car is moving, car B is moving with a velocity equal to v2. Now what happens, since they were moving, after some time when you observe the scene, it will be different. Those cars will undergo some displacement and they will be at some other position, isn't it? At t is equal to 0, the positions, these are the positions, x01, x02. At time equal to t, at a time equal to t seconds. Here it's 0 seconds, here it is t seconds. After t seconds, what you can expect? You can expect something like this. Maybe this car has come somewhere here. and this car has come somewhere here. This is car A and this is car B. Earlier this car is here where displacement is how much? x01. Further, how much distance it has moved? It has moved some distance, we don't know that. But we do know that it has moved with a velocity equal to v1 for a time equal to t. Then how much will be this distance? v1 into t. Isn't it? So the new position of this car A can be written as x01 plus v1t. Isn't it? Or vectorially you can write like this, x01 bar v1 bar into t. Similarly, earlier this car is somewhere here, isn't it? If you take this as reference, somewhere here, how much is the position of this car B? Earlier when t equal to 0, x02. Now it is here. It has undergone some displacement, isn't it? And with what velocity it has undergone displacement? v2 for how long? For a time equal to t seconds. So here displacement is equal to v2 into t. So the new position here, how it can be written? x02 bar plus this one, v2 bar t. I will call this new position as x1 bar corresponding to car A. Corresponding to car B, I will call it as x2 bar. Let us go back to this situation when time t is equal to 0. There is some distance of separation between them, right? The displacement of car A with respect to origin is x01. The displacement of car B with respect to origin is x02. The displacement of car B with respect to car A is how much? x02 minus x01. When we take this car A as reference, and if you are trying to explain displacement of this car, how much it will be? It will be this much. This is equal to how much? x02 minus x01. Isn't it? So that was initial relative displacement. Initial relative displacement. Now see, after a time t, what has happened? Car A position is somewhere here, car B position is somewhere here. So from this origin, it is at a position equal to x1 bar, and car B is at a position equal to x2 bar. Now what is the displacement of car B with respect to car A? This difference. How much is that? x2 minus x1. Isn't it? That is the relative displacement. Displacement of car B with respect to car A. I hope you are able to understand. What I am trying to tell you is, we are taking reference always. Relative to origin, displacement of car A is x1 bar. Relative to origin, displacement of car B is x2. Relative to car A, car B's displacement is this gap. How much is that gap? x2 minus x1. That is the relative displacement. Earlier, what is the relative displacement? x02 minus x01. Now, what is the relative displacement? x2 bar minus x1 bar. Is there any change in relative displacement or not? Yes. The separation between these two cars is changing with the time. The relative displacement between these two cars is changing. Or the position of one car with respect to another car is changing with the time. All these things fall under the same category, relative motion, or more precisely, since you are talking about relative, rate of change of relative displacement, you can call, you can introduce one physical quantity. What is that? Relative velocity. Okay. So let us try to, put it in mathematical form. Okay. Since x1 is taken like this, I'll take it as equation number 1. I'll take this as equation number 2. Okay. Let us subtract these two equations. Equation 2 minus equation 1. What do we get? x2 bar minus x1 bar is equal to x02 bar minus x01 bar plus v2 bar minus v1 bar into t, isn't it? This is what you will get when you subtract, isn't it? I have subtracted from this equation is subtracted. Okay. Now, look at this one. What is this? This is relative displacement at t, at a time equal to t. And this is what? This term? Relative displacement at t equal to 0, isn't it? I will take this as x. Simply I will take this term relative displacement at a time t, I will take it as x bar is equal to relative displacement at a time t is equal to 0, I will take it as x naught bar, okay, plus what do we have on the other side, v2 bar minus v1 bar into t. Let me shuffle this equation. What you will get, x bar minus x naught bar is equal to v2 bar minus v1 bar into t. Or if it is further simplified, what you will have, x bar minus x naught bar by t is equal to v2 bar minus v1 bar. Now look at this equation. In the numerator, what do you have? This x is what? Relative displacement at a time t. This x naught is relative displacement at a time equal to 0 seconds. Isn't it? So what is this x bar minus x naught bar? Change in relative displacement. What is that? Change in relative displacement divided by time. It means this term you can read it as rate of change of relative displacement. Rate of change of relative displacement, which is nothing but relative velocity. Which is nothing but relative velocity. Rate of change of relative position of one body with respect to another body is called as relative velocity, isn't it? So here this is what? A change in relative displacement. This is time, or change in relative position, and this is time. So this term can be read as rate of change of relative displacement, which is nothing but relative velocity, and here relative velocity is represented as something like this, VBA bar, which is equal to, I'll tell you what this VBA bar is. VBA bar in the sense relative velocity of B with respect to A. I'll write it here. How do we read this? Relative velocity of B with respect to A. That's how we read, and this can be written as V2 bar minus V1 bar. Okay, so that's how mathematically we will write relative velocity equation, and further we will be using this equation to handle several situations. So several applications can be dealt with this equation. Try to observe this equation. VBA bar is equal to V2 bar minus V1 bar. What we were trying to do, to find out relative velocity of B with respect to A, we are subtracting one vector from the other vector. When Q bar is subtracted from P bar, like if you are having P bar minus Q bar, how do you write its magnitude? We have already dealt with that in vectors concept, isn't it? V2 bar, P bar minus Q bar is written as under root modulus of P bar minus Q bar. How it is written? Under root P square plus Q square minus 2 PQ cos theta. The same thing we are going to use here to find out relative velocity's magnitude. Okay, so further we will proceed with this equation. What did we conclude? VBA bar is equal to V2 bar minus V1 bar. What is this V2 bar? This is velocity of car B. And this V1, it is velocity of car A. This is what we have taken, two cars, A, car B. It is having velocity equal to V1, this is having velocity equal to V2 bar, isn't it? Okay, just for simplicity, I will modify this equation as VBA bar is equal to velocity of car B, I will take it as VB bar, minus velocity of car A, I will take it as V subscript A bar. Okay, so this is how we write relative velocity of B with respect to A. If at all, if you wanted to write VAB bar, how it will be written? VA bar minus VB bar. We can proceed similarly, whatever procedure we have followed earlier to derive this one. Similarly, we can consider VAB bar. VAB bar is what? Velocity of car A with respect to car B. Velocity of car A with respect to car B. Okay. So let me proceed with this equation. When you compare these two equations, one thing is obvious, both are not same, isn't it? Both are not same. If at all, if you wanted to equate these two things, how they can be equated? VBA bar is equal to minus VAB bar. It means both are like equal in magnitude but opposite in direction. Both are equal in magnitude but opposite in direction. I have given you one example. For example, one car is moving with a speed of some 60 km/h. Another car is also moving in the same direction with a speed of some 40 km/h. Let us say this is car A, this is car B. Okay. Now here both are moving along the straight line, If this is the situation, if you wanted to find out VBA bar, velocity of car B with respect to car A, how do we write? We write it as what? VB bar minus VA bar. It means 60 minus 40. Of course, vectorially we have to go with the subtraction. Let us say this is x-axis, 60 I cap minus 40 I cap. What you will get? You will get 20 I cap. Isn't it? It means this car is going ahead with a speed of 20 kmph with respect to car A. This is where students get confused. Sir, this is going with 60 kmph. No, so how come this has become 20? That 60 kmph is with respect to ground. If I am standing just beside the car on the ground firmly, I am at rest position, and if I am observing the car, then it is, it appears to be moving at a speed equal to 60 kmph. But if I am following that car with a speed of 40 kmph, I don't see this car moving with such a huge speed. It appears to be moving with a speed of 20 kmph. Very slowly it goes away from me. This is a very common experience to all of us. Even if you are traveling in a car, if a car is ahead, okay, and if it is going with some 90 kmph, and if your car is going at a speed of 80 kmph, the car which is just before your car, it appears to be moving very slowly. With what speed? 10 kmph, isn't it? Now, if at all, if you are supposed to write down VAB, what is VAB? Velocity of car A with respect to car B. What do you write? You write it as VA bar minus VB bar. VA bar is how much? 40 kmph. This is how much? 60. 40 minus 60 minus 20. You will have minus 20 I cap. This minus sign indicates that velocity of car A with respect to car B is in the backward direction. That's what I told you when I have quoted several examples while giving the introduction about relative motion. I told you, if this person, driver of this car, turns back and if he observes this car A, which is moving with only 40 kmph, this car doesn't appear to be following his car. This car appears to be going away from this car, isn't it? But in fact, it's not going away. It is following. But with respect to this car, it is going in the backward direction. That's what you see. If a person is, just beside your car who is riding a bicycle, and if you are going at a speed of some 90 km per hour speed, then when you look at that by a person who is riding the bicycle, how does he appear like? He doesn't appear like following your car. He appears as if he is going away from your car. But in fact, he is not going away from your car. You are going away from him. Okay. So try to understand what the significance of this negative sign. The negative sign significance is velocity of car A with respect to car B is in the backward direction. In the backward direction. Let us try to understand this equation a bit more. VBA bar. How it was written? It was written as VB bar minus VA bar. You are subtracting VA bar from VB bar, isn't it? So let me try to find out magnitude of relative velocity of B with respect to A. That is equal to VB bar minus VA bar mod. So you can write like this, under root, because you are subtracting one vector from the other vector. So when you use the concept of subtraction of one vector from the other vector, the magnitude will be written something like this, isn't it? VB square plus VA square minus 2VB VA cos theta, where theta is angle between VA bar and VB bar, isn't it? That theta is angle between VA bar and VB bar, right? So this is where you can talk about a few special cases as well. What could be the special, possible special cases? Special cases are decided by this theta. If theta is equal to 0 degree, what does it mean? Both are traveling along the same straight line. Both are traveling along the same straight line. If that is the situation, cos 0 is what? It's 1. So what you will have? Modulus of VBA bar is equal to under root VB square plus VA square minus 2VB VA, and this can be written as VB minus VA, isn't it? VB minus VA whole square, square root gets cancelled, and finally this is what you are left with. So if two cars are moving along the same direction, along the same straight line, and if you are supposed to find out relative velocity of this car with respect to this one, or magnitude of relative velocity, because if you are talking about relative velocity, there is a problem with the sign, but magnitude is same here, see, 20, but sign is different. So if two cars are moving along the same direction, if two objects are moving along the same direction with different velocities, then magnitude of their relative velocity is simply the difference between the velocities when both are traveling along the same direction. What if theta is 180? If theta is 180 degree. Theta is 180 degree in the sense what? One car is moving along this direction, the other car is moving in the opposite direction. The other car is moving it in the opposite direction, isn't it? The angle between these two directions is 180 degree. So let us try to understand practically. If you are riding a car, okay, if you are going, in this direction with a speed of 40 kmph, if this car is approaching you with a speed of 60 kmph, when compared to this existing situation, now whatever situation I have defined, will it be different or not? Yes, it will be different. You don't see this car going with a speed of 60 kmph. 60 kmph and you are going ahead with a speed of 40 kmph. You see this car as if it is approaching you with a speed of something more than 60 kmph. More than 60 kmph. Very quickly it goes, isn't it? But in fact it is approaching you with 60 kmph only, but you are also traveling towards that with a speed of 40 kmph, so that you will have an impression like, this car is approaching you with a speed of something more than 60 kmph. How much it is? Let us try to find out that. If I replace theta with 180, what is cos 180? It's minus 1. If you replace here with minus 1, minus into minus it becomes plus, then VBA bar is equal to under root VB square plus VA square plus 2VA VB under root, what you will get? VA plus VB whole square, or finally what you will get? VA plus VB. So magnitude. So relative velocity magnitude in this case, when both are approaching each other, when both are traveling in opposite directions along the same straight line, then what is the situation? The relative velocity is equal to sum of the individual velocities. The relative velocity is magnitude is equal to sum of the individual velocities. It means this car, if it has turned back and it is traveling towards me, towards this car with a speed of 60 kmph, to the driver of this car appears to be approaching him at a speed of 60 plus 40, 100 kmph. But in fact that car is not approaching with a speed of 100 kmph. It is approaching with a speed of 60 kmph only, but you are also traveling towards that with a speed of 40 kmph, and the resultant effect will be, you see as if that is approaching you at a speed of 60 plus 40, 100 kmph. So that's how you are supposed to understand the relative motion along a particular direction, and this is what equation is going to rule everything. Okay, based on the values of theta, you can talk about different possible relative velocities. Okay, so this is where I will close the session. In the next session, we will try to understand various applications connected with this relative motion or relative velocity. Okay, students, thank you.